Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Manchester United stars are said to be unhappy at being offered just 2 tickets per player for the Europa League final, whilst the travel logistics mean they may not be able to celebrate with their family if they win. The Red Devils take on Tottenham at the San Mamés in Bilbao, but much of the build-up has been dominated by the news that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has continued to be frugal with the freebies. Complimentary tickets are very much at a premium, which has not gone down well with the playing group, reports the Daily Mail. The club are handing out just 2 complimentary tickets per player for friends and family, as well as seats on a chartered flight. That will land 60 miles away in Santander on the morning of the game, whilst the guests will also be given food and drink at the team hotel. Their return flight is also from Santander, more than an hour's drive from Bilbao, and leaves at 2:15 a.m. following the final, which means any celebrations are unlikely. The players can buy up to 10 more tickets from UEFA at face value, which range in price from £200 to £55. But if they took that option, they would have to stump up the costs for the additional flights and hotel rooms. The Manchester outfit could land themselves £100 million in revenue with victory in the Europa League by virtue of landing themselves a spot in the Champions League. Despite that, their Ineos chief has continued to watch the costs, a move that has not been well received. Ruben Amorim will pay for 30 members of his backroom staff to attend the Europa League final with their families, as he looks to remedy the unpopular decision taken by Ratcliffe. He will personally cover the cost for his coaches and physios to bring up to 2 members of family or friends. He said, "You know that we have a lot of things, people leaving, a lot of changing in the staff. In this moment for our club, sometimes it is hard to understand when to give and when to take. It is complicated for the club to start giving to other members of staff. It is a really hard position." Amorim continued, "My reaction was to help. Then we talked to the players, and the players had the same reaction. Everybody wants the staff there and their families there. The finalists have been given an allocation of around 15,000 each, and while Spurs are offering a free ticket to every full-time employee, United have only set aside a small number for a staff ballot. Instead, they've been invited to a screening in Manchester where they will be offered 2 free drinks." Ruben Amorim is facing an injury nightmare for Manchester United's biggest game of the season, with 4 defenders missing from training. United take on Tottenham in the Europa League final in Bilbao next Wednesday and could be short on players at the back. The club's season rests on the result in northern Spain, with victory providing salvation in the form of a place in next season's Champions League. United are 16th in the Premier League, a place above Spurs, following the 2-0 defeat by West Ham on Sunday, and are fully focused on the Europa League final. The West Ham game extended their winless run in the league to 7 games and brought another bitter pill to swallow in the form of another injury for Lenny Yoro. The French defender received treatment on the pitch at Old Trafford in the second half and had to be replaced by Harry Maguire. "We have to assess Lenny in a better way tomorrow," Amorim said after the match. "He felt something, but it could be a small thing." He was due to undergo a scan to determine the extent of the issue and was conspicuous by his absence at an opening training session at Carrington on Wednesday morning. Amorim could be sweating on other injuries too, with Diogo Dalot, Matthijs de Ligt and Aiden Heaven also not present in the session. Dalot suffered a calf injury in the 1-0 defeat by Wolves last month and appears very unlikely to make the Spurs game. He has something in his muscle, his calf. He had a sequence of games. He played all the time. We try to manage, but the players play a lot of minutes and not so ready to cope with that. Dalot felt something, Amorim said. "We don't know how long he's going to be out, but he's out for these next games." De Ligt picked up a knee injury in the 4-3 loss to Brentford, but Amorim had been optimistic about a swift return. "It is not a big issue," he said. "That is a good thing. He cannot play tomorrow versus Athletic Bilbao, and he'll not play on Sunday versus West Ham, but then we'll check day by day." Heaven has not been involved in any squads since being on the bench against Newcastle on April 13th due to a small setback. Injuries have been a major problem for Amorim during his debut campaign as United boss, with defence a particular issue. Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, and Noussair Mazraoui all featured against West Ham, but United are short on numbers in defence. Amorim chose to play a strong side against the Hammers on Sunday, with Bruno Fernandes partnering Manuel Ugarte in midfield. The Portuguese boss admitted that he still had one eye on the Europa League final and had to manage his squad ahead of Friday's trip to play Chelsea in the Premier League. "We want to win and to be competitive, also in the Premier League," Amorim said. "Bruno doesn't have the problem of any injury touches would, but Harry Maguire has. So we have to manage that, but they have to play, and it is better to play than to stay out." Manchester United have been warned that they could be forced to sell Bruno Fernandes against Ruben Amorim's wishes. The Red Devils midfielder has been linked with a move away from Old Trafford this year. Real Madrid have emerged as contenders for his services, while clubs in Saudi Arabia are also keen on recruiting the Portuguese international. Former Liverpool star Stephen Warnock has warned that United could be forced to bid farewell should they fail to win the Europa League, and with it, seal a return to the Champions League. Amorim's side take on Premier League rivals Tottenham Hotspur in the final later this month. Speaking to casino apps, Warnock said, "No transfer is off limits for Manchester United, especially if they lose the Europa League final. That includes Bruno Fernandes. They will need funds, and they may see him as the lifeline to reinvest in the squad. I know there have been links to the Saudi Pro League. I'd hope he's more ambitious than that. The money he'll be on at United will be more than sufficient, but you just never know in football. United's hand may be forced by financial constraints." Amorim has already revealed his stance on a potential sale of his captain and is determined to keep him at Old Trafford. Speaking in a press conference, he said, "I think it is easy to understand that transfer speculation, not just because of the numbers, but the way he plays," said Amorim in his press conference ahead of Athletic Bilbao. "He is a top player, and we need to top players. He is a leader, the captain. It is natural that people want Bruno, but we want to keep him. He is one of the top players of the world." The United boss then doubled down on those comments in a further interview with TNT Sports. Asked if Fernandes remains in his plans, he added, "That is clear. It's normal that a lot of clubs want players like Bruno, but Bruno is our captain. I will say it again, he is a player that will stay. We will do everything we can for him to stay. That's it. It's nothing new. One club wants Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes is our player and is going to keep playing for us." Fernandes, 30, has just over 2 years remaining on his current deal at Old Trafford. The former Sporting Lisbon playmaker has enjoyed another sensational season for United this term, despite their wretched campaign. He has scored 19 goals and notched 19 assists in 54 appearances in all competitions. A record that he will no doubt be trying to improve in the Europa League final later this month.